Okay.
I'll take care of the
Um,
weight room while you go. Okay. How about that?
okay, super. All right. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for taking some time out of your busy day to join us on our call. We're going to talk tonight about a publicly traded company called LifeVantage and how their product line and this opportunity might interest you. We welcome everyone. You might be an athlete, trainer, coach that may have players interested in our products, or maybe you're like me, a fitness enthusiast, a biohacker, and a parent of athletes. So tonight you're going to learn how you can best support training and ultimately performance as well. So my name is Liz Goring, and I actually am in Grand Rapids, Michigan. I have my husband, Carl, and 3 daughters, Emma, Allie, and Kate. So between the 3 of my kids, we pretty much cover the bases for all the sports. So I've officially earned the title for soccer mom to a T, because I feel like that's all I'm doing is running back and forth between the soccer field and home. So proud to say that all of my little athletes benefit and bring their A game because of the power of activation, which we're super excited to talk to you about tonight. So a little background about myself. I'm an educator by trade, a personal trainer, an athlete, and have a passion for educating others about how to biohack your body. Athletics has always been a huge part of my life. Growing up in an active household, I've had role models always pushing me to be my best self on and off the field. So very fortunate for that. I ran my first 5K when I was 8 years old, was an aspiring gymnast, and tried and played about every sport under the sun. So very involved as a child. Through high school, I focused more on basketball, was an all-state soccer goalie. And then kind of throughout college, I focused mainly on running and doing other things, from everything from hiking, CrossFit, yoga, Pilates, you name it, I've probably done it. So once a competitor, always a competitor. Crazy to think that at 42, I now feel like I'm in the best physical, mental, and emotional state that I've been in, thanks for cellular activation. I love that I can keep up with people, women half my age at boot camp, and it feels really good to just feel my best. Unfortunately, it hasn't always been that way. About 5 years ago, I was actually diagnosed with Lyme disease that we think went undiagnosed for about 18 years. To make matters even worse, we came to find out that I had transmitted Lyme to all 3 of my kids in utero. So a crazy health journey that has gotten me to where I am today. So I struggled a lot with chronic pain, a lot of neuro issues such as insomnia, brain fog, really high anxiety. I also experienced hormonal imbalances, fatigue, some GI issues. The list goes on and on and on. And a Lyme diagnosis was actually a blessing, believe it or not, because we finally had some direction to go in towards healing. But it was not easy at all. We needed to clean up our toxic load. We also knew that we needed to reduce inflammation in our bodies so that it would start to heal. So through lots of detox supplements, homeopathy, and even some antibiotics, we got ourselves into a remission state. And 2.5 years ago is when, so with the whole Lyme diagnosis, working on obviously building up our immune systems and keeping our Lyme in check is necessary. And 2.5 years ago, I was introduced to cellular activation and the products you're going to hear about tonight that have changed my health forever. So I'm super grateful to be here tonight sharing with all of you. Not to mention how by simply now sharing my story has helped so many other people as well. Joining forces with LifeVantage is the best decision I've ever made. Not easy at times, but definitely worth it. And focusing on educating and helping others has been such an awesome and rewarding experience. So happy you all could join us. And for everyone that's here, and for I'm excited because we have 2 other women that I have the honor and privilege of sharing with you tonight. And before I introduce them, I kind of want to tell you, I want to get this party started with a little trivia. So everybody get ready in the comments section of your of the Zoom here. And I'm going to give you a trivia question. And JLo, I'm going to kind of have you look at the comment section to see who kind of gets the first correct answer is going to actually be win a bag of our natural energy drink called Axio. And Axio is awesome. It totally is what I use kind of for pre-fueling my workouts. It gives me the sustainability and kind of motivation to get through a lot of my tough workouts, which I love. So our first trivia question is, and again, get ready for the comment section. So flexibility is enhanced by the daily performance of,
We got stretching by Randy. Is it stretching?
Stretching by Randy. Randy,
Weissman.
yeah, Randy, we will definitely please message the person who invited you to this group, and we'll make sure to get you that Axio.
We got
So-
Ivanka. Thank you, Ivanka, for sharing. She said exercise, and Abby also said stretching. So they were quick on the fingers for that one.
Awesome. And we're going to have one more trivia question at the end, so be ready. Okay. So first up, I'd like to introduce Jessica Perez, aka J-Lo. She's an influencer, catalyst, supersizer, and connector who inspires you to think bigger, do bigger, and become bigger in your health and wealth too. So her diverse background, and I have to actually read this because I want to do her justice, includes experiences as an educator, coach, athletic director, charter school founder, building coordinator, nonprofit executive director, Parks and Rec manager, business leadership consultant, speaker, and yes, network marketer. So J-Lo is going to share with you guys tonight kind of about our products and what we've got our hands on here at LifeVantage. So J-Lo, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Thank you so much. And yeah, when you say that, I feel like I'm like 150 years old, but I'm not. I promise. I promise. So Liz, thank you so much for putting this together, for wanting to host, allowing myself. And when I introduce the next guests, you're just going to be like blown away. Because yeah, the accomplishments that she can bring to the table as an athlete and now a new mom are pretty cool. So I'm excited to be able to be with both of them as well as all of you tonight to share something that is pretty exciting for me. She said all these things that I did, but at the end of the day, what I love doing is connecting with people and educating them about the power of nutrigenomics. Well, we have our hands on, that's a big word. We'll talk about it in a second. But let me share my screen. I'm going to drive through a couple of slides just to kind of set the stage, right? So first of all, we're going to talk tonight about activation, not supplementation. That is really going to maybe shake some thoughts in your brain. So if you can walk with me for a few minutes, right? Give me about 10 minutes to kind of pull some layers back and educate on the value of activating our own bodies for health and wellness, not only today, but long term. It's really about natural wellness. It's about looking at things a little bit differently, because in today's world, we are being hijacked. Yes, we are, by things like pesticides and pollution. And look at that EMF radiation. I can tell you, I was going through recently, I was going to switch over my cable company, right? And they brought in, I said, I'm a business, I have a home business. And so I wanted a business account. When they brought in like 6 humongous, like big old things, and I wanted to put it in my room. And I said, I do not need all of that in my room. I'm going to go back to traditional cable, right? Because of the EMF radiation, I wasn't sure what was going to be in my house by all of these things, right? So we're being hijacked every day, heavy metals, the foods we eat. And so if we could recognize that that is a challenge, right? That is something that we are being dealing with, then I'd like to take and share this video with you. It's a video that I was shared with a long time ago, almost 10 years now, by the lady who's going to be coming on after me, right? And what we're going to do is we're going to take you through this journey. I want you to watch this video and let's hear what they have to say.
Free radicals are naturally occurring molecules that can cause serious damage in your body. If free radicals are allowed to overwhelm your body's ability to fight them, they can adversely alter lipids, proteins, and DNA, triggering a number of health concerns. Fortunately, scientists have made a remarkable breakthrough that promises to give your body a natural aid in the fight against free radicals. It's called NRF2 activation. And according to researchers, it's a powerful process that stimulates antioxidant production and can wake up your body's ability to stay healthy. Understanding NRF2 activation begins with understanding how oxidative stress caused by free radicals affects your body. Free radicals are a natural result of your body's metabolic processes. Under normal circumstances, your body also produces antioxidants, which neutralize free radicals and limit the damage they can do to your cells. It's a bit like having a factory in your cells that produces enough antioxidants to keep the free radicals under control. But exposure to X-rays, ozone, cigarette smoke, inflammation, air pollution, industrial chemicals, and even exercise can overwhelm the body's natural responses to free radicals, allowing them to wreak havoc on your cells and your health. Over time, the damage to your cells and DNA turns off the power in the cell's factory, reducing our ability to create antioxidants and leaving us vulnerable to premature aging and health concerns. Fortunately, science has given us the ability to turn the power back on. NRF2 activation. NRF2 is a protein messenger that binds itself to DNA and is a master regulator of the body's aging process. Through the study of nutrigenomics, scientists have discovered that certain phytochemicals found naturally in foods turn on our ability to create antioxidants, to combat aging and preserve health. Protandim is specially formulated with an optimal blend of these phytochemicals found in foods like turmeric and green tea. This patented blend is formulated to turn on the NRF2 biochemical switch that creates and releases the antioxidants your body needs to fight free radicals. And what do scientists say about NRF2 activation? In just the last 10 years, researchers have published more than 500 studies about the power of NRF2 to activate your body's natural response to free radicals. One recent peer-reviewed study from Washington State University calls NRF2 activation one of the most extraordinary therapeutic and preventative breakthroughs in the history of medicine. For more than a decade, LifeVantage has been the leader in developing effective natural NRF2 activation supplements like Protandim. We're excited to share the power of this breakthrough to create a healthier life for you and your loved ones for years to come.
So when I first saw that almost 10 years ago, I'm going to tell you right now, I was blown away. I was completely blown away. So I heard a lot of things for 10 years, over 500 studies on NRF2 at that time. Now there's thousands of studies on the power of NRF2 activation. And what's pretty cool is we have the only known product who can do things like lower oxidative stress on average of 40% in 30 days using natural ingredients. Look at the ingredients at the bottom of that slide. Turmeric and milk thistle and green tea, bacopa, ashwagandha, things that are found, herbal solutions, but when combined together, create a synergy in the body to do exactly what you just saw on that video. Like it blew me away. Jessica Crate-Ovison shared that with me, 10 years ago, and I'm still blown away by the science that we have our hands on, right? And not many people know about it, right? So it supports that natural cellular repair. It rejuvenates the process. We might, one of the trivia questions might be, how old is Jessica J-Lo Perez? And we can drop that in the chat box. I'm okay. I'll put it out there. Go ahead and guess my age. That could be one. Those of you who know, you're not allowed to vote, but go ahead. You can do that. I'm going to see, I don't know if someone's got their thing off mute, so you might want to check on that if you can in the participants, but I'm going to move on. See, here's what's kind of cool, right? The independent research is that not only was there studies on NRF2, but there's studies on our particular product, on our flagship product of Protandim NRF2. We actually have over 20 peer-reviewed research studies. Look at some of these universities. Look, Ohio State, they mentioned it in the video, right? The National Institute of Aging, Harvard University, the Journal of Dietary Supplements. I mean, it goes on and on and on. So the science was there. For someone like myself who comes from a former collegiate athlete background, and I say former because, yeah, my age, I don't know if anybody's dropping it in there, but I want to see what that chat box looks like. Liz, you can call it out. If anybody says the age, I think you know how old I am. So if anybody calls it out, they might win a little something from me. I don't know. We haven't, ooh, somebody's close. All right. So we're going to dive in. So the NIA actually also did a study recently, right? It confirms that Protandim Nrf2 extends life. Now, part of my story is the fact that my father passed away at 56 from cancer, way too young, way too young. Diabetes, way too young, right? And so when you think about that, I think, oh my goodness, having the ability to have a little bit more time with my dad, I was drawn in from a product because a good friend of mine shared it with me and said, hey, I want you to take a look, right? And from that point on, not only did I know that I was going to be on our products for life, but so was everybody that I loved and cared about, which is how it turned into a different opportunity for me that I'll approach in just a second. So that is the statement that you heard on that video, that Nrf2 may well become the most extraordinary therapeutic, look at that, extraordinary preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine. Pretty powerful. And we get to talk about it. We get to educate others on it. I get excited every day. So with that studies and with that information, what was really cool from an athlete perspective, because yes, former athlete in the house, right? From that perspective, we also want to have a brain that focuses well. We also want to be able to enhance different things. And they've put that Nrf2 activation in an energy drink. And when I say energy, I don't want you to think about jumping out of your chair. I want you to think about clear mental focus. As a former high school softball coach, I can tell you that 90% of my girls were distracted at the plate. 100% distracted when they were up to bat, right? To know that I could offer them a solution that is clean. Look at this low calorie, low carb, vegan formula that, guess what? The banned substance control group has approved, meaning even elite level athletes that you'll hear from in a second can use these products, whether they're a professional athlete, an Olympic athlete, right? Or at the high school collegiate level, can use our products, right? To give them the edge that they're looking for, let alone for me in my normal everyday life, or my 84-year-old mom. And I use her age as 84, but she'd probably get mad, although she won't, because she feels 64. How cool is that, right? To know that you've been able to pass along some solutions. So when we talk about this, products that have been sold since 2003, we've got that investigative report from ABC that's pretty amazing. We've gone from retail to this direct sales model. That's really who we are as a company. So the belief in our company is that we're publicly traded. LFVN, you can look up our stock. Like, how cool is that? There's just all these check marks that, for me, coming from a traditional setting as an educator and as a former public servant working for the city of Tampa, that I was like, whoa, check mark after check mark, right? So that's the cool stuff, right? That's the amazing stuff, that not only that, but then it transitioned for me from being a believer in the products to I want to share this with other people. And now guess what? I get to do that and actually create an income that I'm proud of, because I'm helping a lot of people on the journey. And that's what's really beautiful about this. These are our average annual incomes. Look at this. I'm what we call a Pro 5 in this company. And a monthly average income of $3,000 a month is not something to sneeze at in this world, right? But that I get to do it by helping other people along the journey. So this is something that we disclose. Why? Because we're publicly traded. Check mark again, right? So I come to this area here, like, can I do this? Am I interested? What does this mean for me? Well, what it means for us is that we actually have someone that I would love to introduce and share her story so that you can see how it meant something for her as an elite level athlete, but now as a new mom, right? Where she's been able to bridge the gap and be healthier than she's ever been. Because I've been along the journey with Jess for 15 years, it feels like, but it's been over 10, okay? And in that journey, I've seen her go from an elite level athlete, when I say elite, training for the Olympics, have an incredible story of injury, but then recovery, and then being in a really healthy space for the next 10 years of her journey, that she had an incredible birth of a new baby and all that good stuff that she's going to share with you. But when we talk about what Jessica brings to the table, not only as an elite level athlete, right, and understanding that mindset, but also comes from marketing, comes from a business background and understanding franchising. She worked with Orange Theory and Atmosphere for a long time, and she just has a wealth of knowledge. So we're blessed to have her here, and I'm blessed that she introduced me to this over 10 years ago. And I'm excited to hear her story tonight. So Jess, the floor is yours.
Woo! I absolutely love working with Liz and JLo. So you guys tune in every Thursday because this series is incredible. I'm honored to be on here tonight, and a shout out to all of you for hopping on and taking time out of your Friday Eve. Liz, I love that. I use that all the time. Friday Eve to join us. Those of you tuning in and who know about Nerf 2, I thought it was a football when I first heard about it. I was like, the football, like the Nerf thing, like, or the gun, like what is Nerf, right? And 10 years later, I am so grateful that it's the science side of NRF2 activation that we're learning about tonight. And it has changed my life dramatically. So JLo told you a little bit about my background. I was formerly in the corporate world as a youngster. I was on the world level competing since I was, 12, 13 years old. I was competing in the junior world championships for running, for track and cross country, and went on to do a varsity scholarship for track and cross country, graduated, and was training for the Olympics. And I'll get to my Olympic story and why I'm here, but my whole career path was to be a physician and to be a doctor and help people. And quickly into the medical field, I found out that we are actually in a sick care industry. Don't get me wrong, there is a place for medicine, but I just really was witnessing the neglect working in the pharmaceutical and the medical world and wanted a way out, and was competing full time thinking, oh yeah, I can totally replace my income and be a professional athlete. Those of you that are athletes know that that doesn't replace your income. But I had a passion and a dream, and shortly into training for the Olympics, I snapped my foot in the Boston Marathon, fractured my foot at mile 14, finished the marathon on a broken foot, and just crossed the finish line in a place where I was like, this is not where I thought my life would be. Anybody ever get there? I think all of us can raise your hand through COVID, right? It's like, what is going on? And I just woke up one day and I was like, this is not where I'm going to be. I had to go back to my life-sucking job with a boot on my foot, couldn't train for the Olympics. So my dreams are shattered. I'm like wallowing in this career, and somebody introduces Nerf 2. I started taking the product, and it's behind me on the shelf back here. And within 2 weeks, I started recovering. In half the time that my therapist said I would, I rebounded from injury, made it to 5 world championships in triathlon, and stayed injury-free. I mean, you guys, when you're running marathons and triathlons, you're doing damage to your body every day. And I was dealing with little injuries, like whether it was plantar fasciitis or hip pain or knee pain or joint pain, I was dealing with that every week. And for not dealing with that for almost 8.5 years was incredible. And then I really had to put my biohacking nutrigenomics lifestyle to the test last year when I fractured I completely tore my ACL, MCL, medial meniscus skiing up here in Park City, and had one of the most amazing surgeons last year. He did my knee. He also did Tiger Woods' knee, and he was like, Jessica Crane, I have never seen somebody recover so fast. He cleared me to run in 3 months, where he usually doesn't clear people to run in 9 to 12 months. And I've stayed injury-free. My knee is back to normal, and had the most wonderful pregnancy. I stayed on all of our products throughout the pregnancy. I can tell you that they're completely safe. I don't know what I do without my Axio. So all moms with Axio, I have this big jug with me all the time. And the caffeine comes from green tea. It's super safe, especially if you're breastfeeding. Trust me, I've done the research. I'm a research nerd. JLo knows. But I absolutely love the products. And then from a business standpoint, you guys, I can't tell you the time freedom. I have my little dude down here. He's starting to wake up, but he's at work with mommy, and we are working from home. And it is the biggest blessing to have a mobile office laptop lifestyle here. And I'm just super grateful for LifeVantage, because it's truly life from a new vantage point, you guys. And we would be doing a disservice if we didn't share with you not only how you can flip the switch on in your bodies, but in your brain and in your bank account. And just knowing that the product is going to come to you every month and a check's going to come to you every month is the biggest blessing. It's wild. I can't think of being in corporate America right now and taking maternity leave and time off and trying to breastfeed and pump and go back to work. I'm so grateful I can stay home. It has been such a blessing. And we have a little activated teammate. So I'll bring him up in a second. But Liz, I'm going to kick it over to you, you guys. Thanks so much for having me on.
And thank you, Jessica. Your story, just every time I hear it, is amazing. And JLo, awesome job telling about the science and products and overview. So awesome to work with like-minded people. And we have so many others that, are not here with us tonight. So thank you again. And, to round off our evening and to kind of do a final little trivia question to win another bag of Axio, win a bag of Axio. I've got one more question. So make sure to get the comments. If you guys not sure, the chat at the bottom, you click on that and it'll pull up a little bar to the right. At least on my screen, it's to the right. And you can type your answer in real quick. So are we ready? All right. What does aerobic exercise increase? Dun, dun, dun.
Abby says oxygen.
Abby says oxygen. That is true, which increases what?
She's looking for something else. Heart rate by Linda.
Linda got it. Heart rate. I've got Linda here. Linda, make sure to message who invited you to the Zoom, and we'll make sure to get you your bag of Axio. So awesome. We are just so delighted, and we thank you so much for taking some time this evening to join us here. If you have questions or anything else, please get back to the person who invited you to the Zoom. It was a privilege being with all you athletes, coaches, trainers, or just health-minded people. And thanks again, Jessica and Jessica. And you guys have a great weekend.
Thanks,
Bye for now.
guys. Bye for now.
Guys.